Toyota Highlander has long been considered one of the safest bets in the three-row SUV segment, trusted by families who value reliability above all else. But if you're shopping for a Highlander right now, you need to know that this trusted nameplate is hiding some serious flaws that could turn your ownership experience into a constant source of frustration. From underpowered engines that struggle with family loads to interior quality that falls shockingly short of the premium price tag, the Highlander's problems run deeper than most buyers realize. Let's check them out. Number 6. Tight third row. One of the main reasons families choose three-row SUVs is the extra seating capacity, but the Highlander's third row presents a serious problem in this regard. While Toyota markets this SUV as a genuine 7-seater, the reality is quite different once you try fitting actual adults back there. The third row in the Highlander is noticeably tighter than what you'll find in competing models. Headroom measures just 36.1 inches, while legroom sits at a cramped 27.7 inches. The Honda Pilot offers 38.4 inches of headroom and 31.9 inches of legroom in its third row. The Mazda CX-90 provides 37.6 inches of headroom and 29.8 inches of legroom. Even the Kia Telluride delivers 37.4 inches of headroom and 31.4 inches of legroom back there. Picture planning a weekend trip to visit family 3 hours away with your teenage nephew needing a ride. In most three-row SUVs, he'd be reasonably comfortable back there. In the Highlander, he's going to spend those 3 hours with his knees jammed against the second-row seats. That's the daily reality of the Highlander's third row. It works fine for short trips with young kids, but anything beyond that becomes an endurance test. But cramped seating is just the beginning, because the powertrain might push you toward the competition anyway. Number 5. Old V6 was better. Toyota's decision to replace the beloved 3.5-liter V6 with a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine is backfiring in multiple ways. The previous generation's V6 was a masterpiece of refinement, delivering smooth, linear power with that characteristic silky V6 sound that made the Highlander feel premium. The new 2.4-liter Turbo 4 is failing to live up to that legacy. Power figures on paper might look competitive. The Turbo 4 produces 265 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. But the real-world driving experience tells a different story. Turbo lag is noticeable when you need quick acceleration, creating an annoying delay between pressing the throttle and getting meaningful power. The engine also sounds coarse and unrefined, with a harsh growl under acceleration. Consider those moments when you need to merge onto a busy highway or make a quick pass on a 2-lane road. With the old V6, you'd press the throttle and get immediate smooth power that built progressively and predictably. With the Turbo 4, there's a hesitation while the turbo spools up, then a surge of power that feels abrupt rather than refined. V6 engines are inherently balanced, providing seamless power delivery throughout the rev range. The Turbo 4 vibrates more at idle, feels buzzier at highway speeds, and generally lacks the refinement that made the old Highlander feel like a premium product. Fuel economy improvements are minimal at best, which makes the switch even harder to justify. The old V6 returned around 21 miles per gallon city and 29 miles per gallon highway. The new Turbo 4 manages 22 miles per gallon city and 28 miles per gallon highway. Barely any difference. You're sacrificing smoothness, refinement, and that premium feel for essentially no real-world efficiency gains. Rivals like the Honda Pilot still offer V6 power, proving you don't have to compromise on cylinder count to meet modern efficiency standards. But if you think the Turbo 4 is disappointing, wait until you find out more about the driving experience. Number 4. Forgettable driving experience. No one buys a three-row family SUV expecting sports car dynamics, but the Highlander takes things to the opposite extreme, offering one of the least engaging driving experiences in its class. Get behind the wheel and you'll immediately notice how disconnected everything feels. The steering provides almost zero feedback from the road, making it difficult to place the vehicle accurately in corners. Body roll is excessive during any kind of spirited driving, while the suspension feels tuned exclusively for comfort rather than any semblance of control. The overall sensation is like piloting a large boat rather than driving a modern SUV. The Mazda CX-90 delivers genuinely engaging dynamics with precise steering, minimal body roll, and a suspension setup that balances comfort with control. Even the Honda Pilot, which prioritizes family comfort, still manages to feel far more connected and responsive. What makes this particularly frustrating is that Toyota clearly knows how to build engaging vehicles, but with the Highlander, it's like they've decided that family SUV buyers don't deserve any driving enjoyment whatsoever. And if the lackluster driving dynamics weren't enough, the hybrid makes things even worse. Number 3. Hybrid is efficient but lacks power. The Highlander Hybrid presents a frustrating paradox. It delivers outstanding fuel economy while leaving you constantly wishing for more power. On paper, the hybrid system looks impressive, combining a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine with electric motors for a total output of 243 horsepower. The fuel economy is genuinely remarkable, achieving around 36 miles per gallon city and 35 miles per gallon highway. However, here's where the problem reveals itself. 243 horsepower is barely adequate for moving a vehicle that weighs over 4,600 pounds, especially when fully loaded with passengers and cargo. Acceleration feels lethargic, with the Highlander Hybrid needing over 7 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour. Highway merging requires careful planning, while passing slower traffic demands patience as the powertrain struggles to gather momentum. What makes this particularly frustrating is that Toyota clearly prioritized efficiency over performance. The hybrid system is optimized for maximum miles per gallon, rather than providing adequate power for a vehicle of this size. The Honda Pilot's hybrid produces 366 horsepower, making it feel quick and responsive even when fully loaded. The Grand Highlander Hybrid also offers more power, which raises the question of why Toyota handicapped the smaller SUV so severely. And just when you think the powertrain issues are the worst of it, the interior quality problems reveal another layer of disappointment. Number 2. Subpar interior quality. The moment you settle into the Highlander's cabin, you start noticing details that shouldn't be issues in a vehicle at this price point. While Toyota has built a reputation for durability, the materials, design, and overall ambiance lag noticeably behind what rivals are offering in this premium segment. The dashboard layout looks dated, with a design language that feels borrowed from the previous decade. Hard plastics dominate areas where rivals use soft touch materials. The center console feels particularly cheap, with a piano black finish that scratches easily and collects fingerprints like a magnet. Sound insulation is another major weakness. Road noise intrudes into the cabin far more than it should in a vehicle at this price point. Highway driving reveals excessive wind noise around the A-pillars and mirrors, while coarse pavement generates a constant rumble that permeates the interior. The infotainment system compounds these issues with laggy response times and graphics that look outdated. Menu navigation feels clunky, the touchscreen occasionally misses inputs, and the overall user experience falls short of competing SUVs. The Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade feature far more intuitive systems with crisper displays. What's particularly disappointing is that Toyota charges premium prices for the Highlander, but fails to deliver a premium interior experience. You're paying luxury SUV money for materials and build quality that feel more mid-range. But the biggest shock comes when you discover that Toyota's own lineup has a better solution that actually costs less. Number 1. Grand Highlander is actually cheaper. Here's the most shocking problem with the Highlander. Its bigger, more modern sibling actually costs less in many configurations. The Grand Highlander, which offers more space, newer technology, and a more contemporary design, frequently undercuts the regular Highlander in terms of real-world pricing. This pricing paradox makes choosing the standard Highlander increasingly difficult to justify. The Grand Highlander provides significantly more interior space, with a third row that actually accommodates adults comfortably. Cargo capacity is notably larger, the overall cabin feels more spacious, and the newer platform delivers improved ride quality. Yet when you compare trim levels and factor in current dealer incentives, the Grand Highlander often comes out cheaper or very close to Highlander pricing. This situation creates a massive value problem for the standard Highlander. Why would anyone choose the smaller, older SUV when the larger, more modern option costs the same or less? The Grand Highlander also benefits from Toyota's latest technology, including an improved infotainment system, better driver assistance features, and a more refined interior. It's essentially a superior product at a comparable price point. The market is recognizing this disconnect, with the Grand Highlander increasingly becoming the more popular choice among buyers who comparison shop. Dealers are struggling to move Highlander inventory because informed customers quickly realize the Grand Highlander offers dramatically better value. Toyota's pricing strategy has essentially cannibalized the standard Highlander's market position. The Highlander's problems paint a clear picture. This is an SUV that's falling behind the competition in almost every meaningful way. From the cramped third row to the numb driving dynamics, to powertrains that either lack refinement or adequate power, the Highlander is asking families to accept too many compromises. Add in the dated interior that can't justify the premium pricing, and the fact that Toyota's own Grand Highlander offers superior value at a similar price point, and it becomes increasingly difficult to recommend the standard Highlander to anyone shopping in this segment today. And while the Highlander is getting old, the competition is getting full redesigns. If you're in the market for a modern 3-row SUV, make sure to check out our video about the great changes that come with the 2026 Hyundai Palisade. It gets new powertrain options, an even more luxurious interior, and latest tech features,